Salon Nation, you're watching BDTV.
Well, let me tell you something, brother. WrestleBiz Podcast, brother, presented by Fonzie Neutron.
Yeah, peace, fam. So we wanted to share this clip with New Jack. Some of you guys might be familiar, the hardcore icon from Smoky Mountain Wrestling and ECW. I think he may even had a small stint in WCW and done a bit of work in TNA. But New Jack speaks on what he feels was, he says Kevin Nash blocking him out of doing a deal at WCW where he wanted to mix it up with P and No Limit. So let's first, we're going to hear what New Jack got to say, then we're going to see what Nash had to say.
Kevin Nash kept me from getting a job at WCW back when they brought in Master P, because of my history that he had heard of, things he had been told, okay, and I had never met him. So we did an autograph signing last year
in Miami,
and I ran up behind him playfully, put my hand around his neck like I was choking, and he sat there for a minute. And then I stepped back, he says, New Jack? Oh, hey, what's up, buddy? He said, hey, good to see you. I ain't seen you in a while. I said, seriously, you've never seen me. I said, because we've never met. I said, but I've heard you say some interesting things about me, though, over the years.
Put me in a headlock? You've never met me?
He lived.
Really? I remember him coming and standing in front of me while I was signing, and he says, you don't know who I am.
Had you met him prior to the signing?
Never. I didn't know who the fuck he was.
So he never put his hands on you?
No. It's kind of like the Roddy Piper thing where he didn't get smacked by me in Boston.
Yeah, so you see what Kevin Nash had to say. I mean, to me, he kind of seemed like he subverted the subject and kind of went somewhere else with it. Him saying that he didn't know, he would have no idea who New Jack was, I find that hard to believe, considering Scott had spent time in ECW and stuff as well. I'm sure they would have been familiar with his work with Smoky Mountain and stuff as well. So let's see what New Jack had to say in response to that.
Well, let me tell you something, brother. You're listening to WrestleBiz.
We mentioned Scott Hall. He's there with Dallas. One of his friends, Kevin Nash, recently did another interview for a different company, and he had mentioned your interview where you had made some comments about Kevin, and Kevin made some comments about you.
Okay. All right.
So what's going on between you guys?
There's nothing going on between me. See, here's the problem that Kevin had with me. Kevin didn't like the fact, he didn't like Terri, number one. And because me and Terri was kicking it back then, that gave him more reason to shit on her. So he shit on her to do an appearance at his birthday party because she was with me. At the same time, we had to do an autograph signing and Kevin Nash was in there. So I ran up behind Kevin and playfully threw an arm around his neck and, like, hey. And he turned around and said, hey, New Jack. I'm like, hey. He said, hey, buddy, I ain't seen you in a long time. I said, Kevin, come and think about it. We ain't never met. And he was like, okay. And I'm like, but I heard you said a lot of interesting things about me. And he just looked at me like, oh, I'm stupid. But he gets in front of a goddamn camera and tells these bullshit lies about he tried to reverse the story. Come on, Kevin. I mean, bro, seriously. Untuck your dick from between your legs and man up. If I had heat with you, I could have ran up behind you and knocked your motherfucking brains out. But I didn't. Even though you shitted on me when I had a chance to come to WCW and work with Master P and that crew. And they wanted a wrestler to come in and work with them, and they suggested New Jack, and you was on booking, and you said, no, New Jack's a problem. But again, there's the business. When it's convenient to play the game, you play the game. But when the person is right there sitting in front of you, you tuck your dick between your legs and act like a fucking bitch, which is what you did, Kevin. Kevin, you 6'13", bitch. Grow up. Be a fucking man. Admit the shit that you've done. Don't get behind a camera and start shooting on me, bitch, because I'll come to your face. I had to step up on a goddamn chair, but I'll stand face to face and tell you, you're a fucking hoe. And you did not man up on me, bitch. You bitched up. Call it what it is, Kevin. bitch.
Well, let me tell you something, brother. You're listening to WrestleBiz.
This is Shane Hurricane Helms telling you to check out About That online. And if not, what's up with that?
Right now, I'm on WrestleBiz, and that's not just the coolest, and that's not just the best. WrestleBiz, now that, my friends, is just incredible. Check them out.
Well, let me tell you something, brother. WrestleBiz podcast, presented by Fonzie Neutron. Hip-hop meets wrestling, powered by Bout That Online, brother. www.boutthatonline.com, brother. What you gonna do, brother, when WrestleBiz runs wild on you? Ooh.
Yeah. You know it is. Tiny Iron, half man, half amazing. Britain's biggest biceps, 24H, guns blazing. I'm simply, you know it, half man, half amazing. And you're watching Bout That TV all day, every day. If you're not about, then you're not about that. Make sure you upload your shit. Keep your eyes locked, keep your things peeled, because we're doing big things. It's all about that. Remember that name, Bout That. You got that, Bout That. You're winning, Bout That. You're losing, Bout That. Watch now.
That's right, it's your boy, the blueprint, the DNA of TNA, the most genetically jacked, athletically stacked, giant in the business today, live and direct. And you're watching Bout That TV with my homeboy Fonzo.
This is Max Hernandez, and you're watching Bout That Online. Boom.
Yo, when you out here, when you in these streets, if you're trying to keep it mental, then you need to be Bout That. And that's why you go to Bout That Online, so that you can most definitely know what's going down when you need to know what's going down. You dig?
Ooh, yeah. The cream of the podcast crop rising to the top. Be sure to check out WrestleBiz, brother. The podcast presented by Fonzie Neutron. Yeah, it's hip-hop meets wrestling, dig it? Powered by Bout That Online. Yeah, www.boutthatonline.com. They get funky like a monkey. Special guests like Tony Iron, Pineapple Pete, the Black Mask, and many more. I'm freaking out. Make sure you tune in. Otherwise, you'll be a jabroni, and you'll miss the interviews, the predictions, the reviews, and just sitting around shooting the breeze. Yeah, so tune in and let these guys tell you a thing or two about a thing or two. Need a little excitement? Check out the WrestleBiz podcast. Ooh.